Alright, welcome back to the Future, episode 4, Double Visions. So my last video went way longer than I normally do, so yeah, this will be fun. This episode might only be 3 parts instead of the usual 4.
Press button to experience Hill Valley's primeval past. Okay, if this dinosaur is called a Tanninosaurus, I'm gonna... Oh, whew.
Caveman, huh? First of all, button.
Times may be hard in Hill Valley, but our present worries fade into insignificance when we ponder our Pleistocene past. Is the wolf knocking at your door? Be glad he's not a Tyrannosaurus, king of the ancient lizards. And if you find yourself drowning in debt, well, you could be drowning in something a whole lot stickier, like the Hill Valley tar pits. This peek into the distant past is brought to you by Lamont's House of Urban, reminding you fur is forever.
No, it's not.
It's a good thing I did this before Emmett's 12-hour time limit, where the cleanser might have dissolved the fur. Let's slip out of those furs, shall we?
Right, so now I've got to get the diamond thingy. It's 12 hours, that's what he said. Clever. But that's that's risking a lot. Sorry, Artie, I'll talk to you in a moment. Actually, no, I'll talk to you now, because if I don't talk to you now, then that's going to complicate things.
Hey, Artie!
Hey, Mr. G-Man. How's the, undercover operation?
If everything goes as planned, we should be wrapping things up real soon now.
Well, when it's time for me to play my part, just say the word.
So you're the registration guy for the expo?
And chief accountant, and paymaster.
Hey, you're coming up in the world.
And none of it would have happened if I hadn't responded to that subpoena.
You haven't met Sylvia yet, have you?
My contact person? Not yet. Is he or she at the expo?
I don't think so, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a she. Keep your eyes open for Sylvia.
What should I do when I meet her?
Just let nature take its course. Why'd you have to go and fire Trixie?
You think I wanted to? It's illegal for me to knowingly hire a Canadian for the job, and I don't want to be in trouble with the law again.
I don't suppose you miss working for Kit Tannen.
No siree, Bob. I don't know how I ever got mixed up with an abusive, gun-toting thug like that. He even stiffed me on overtime pay.
Imagine that.
Think the Hill Valley Expo will be a success?
I don't see why not. Why shouldn't California have its own high-technology center?
Keep doing what you're doing, Grandpa.
Grandpa?
That's our, code name for you.
Oh, ha! Funny.
It'll be safe in there.
Now, do I have to tell him to take off, or? Okie dokie.
Hey, Doc. Mr. Sagan.
Excuse me a moment, Miss Strickland. I've got her neutralized for the moment. How's the plan proceeding on your end?
Is it true that you only had eyes for Edna?
At that time, I'm afraid so. I always tended to idealize the opposite sex. I was educated in a boys' school, and Jules Verne was always a little sketchy with female characters.
You haven't got time for a therapy session, Doc. Edna made a point of saying that teenage you looked great in her grandfather's suit.
I did cut a fine figure in that suit. She hated it when I got it dirty.
Maybe I could talk teenage you into losing the suit.
I doubt it. I knew how much that suit meant to Edna, and at that time, my only desire was to please her.
Is it true that you only had eyes for Edna?
At that time, I'm afraid. School.
haven't got time for-
blah blah. Yes, okay.
Horrible news, Doc. Emmett's gonna ask Edna to marry him tonight.
But that's not how it happened. She didn't get me to propose until much later, that night at the lake.
Something I said must have caused him to move up the timetable.
Great Scott! This time travel business is trickier than I imagined.
You know how that mental alignment meter of yours pegged you as a model citizen? Well, wait till you...
Stop! You're gonna tell me about one of your schemes to make Edna break up with me, aren't you?
Yeah, see, Edna
I
thinks...
don't want to hear it. I know it's in the service of a good cause, but I still can't bear to know the details of my younger self's impending heartache.
About that gizmo you've got hooked up to the DeLorean?
The chronometric analyzer?
Yeah, what am I supposed to look for again?
A signal that it's done evaluating the time circuits. The analysis can take a while. Be sure to let me know when the light turns green, and I'll take her out for another test run.
Doc said to tell him when the light on his diagnostic thingy went green. Hey, the light's green. That means Doc could take the DeLorean out again. I need to talk to you.
Excuse me, my dear. Yes?
About that gizmo you've got hooked up to the DeLorean?
The chronometric analyzer?
Yeah, the light's gone green.
Wonderful. If the systems check out, I should be able to take it for another test run. I've got to run a short errand, Miss Strickland. I suggest you think about what I've been saying.
Oh, I will.
When did you land this time?
9 hours and 37 minutes ago.
Ouch.
Frankly, it started to get a little difficult to avoid running into myself. Still, the time jump yielded some interesting new data on the flux field. I'll run some more tests, and we'll see what we find.
I want to take that thing out. Balls.
Nope, no green light yet. Nice rock. But I can't reach it.
Do I have anything in my inventory that I can use for that?
If Jen and I ever strike it big, we're never wrapping these things around our necks. Emmett says this album has pictures of him all the way back to when he was a baby. Ugh, I hope this stuff doesn't get stains all over my guitar. It's my skateboard of the future. Well, from the past. That's a good thing these things never caught on. Now we're getting somewhere. How's it hanging, Emmett?
No time for small talk. I've got machines to tune and mind maps to sort.
Hey, Emmett, what's cooking?
That's an old Brown family recipe for Hassenpfeffer.
Hassenpfeffer.
Rabbit stew. The trick is to add the cumin an hour after the carrots. Take a whiff. Isn't that just about the best thing you've ever smelled in your life?
It's, powerful, yeah.
I've got it on a slow boil for later.
I Don't Care by Trixie Trotter?
Edna doesn't approve of that sort of music, but I find it very soothing. Oh.
They say I'm crazy, got no sense, but I don't care. They may or may not mean offense, but I don't care. You see, I'm sort of independent. I am my own superintendent. My star is on the ascendant.
Emmett?
Yeah?
That's why I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
You can't marry Edna.
Why not?
Think of me. I'm happy-go-lucky.
I just don't think Edna will make you happy in the long run.
Well, she makes me happy now, and that's what counts. And as for the future, well, the future isn't written yet.
You better hope it isn't. There's someone better out there. Trust me.
I know you mean well, but look at me. I'm an awkward teenager with poor social skills and a predilection for prattling on about obscure scientific minutiae. Frankly, it's a miracle that one woman has found me desirable. It could be decades before another one comes along.
Let's just drop it.
Fine.
Fine.
You get back to work. We'll catch up later.
Thanks.
Here, have one of
Hey,
these.
Emmett, need a snack?
Desperately. What is it?
Some sort of algae cake. It's supposed to be nutritious.
Oh, I've heard of these. Oh, they better be really nutritious.
Here, let's make him happy.
Oh.
Oh god, that face scares me.
But I don't care. They may or may not mean offense, but I don't care. You see,
Alright, I'm
sort
still
of
not
independent.
entirely
I am
sure
my
what to do about the
My star is on the ascendant.
prison yet. Alright, let's check the DeLorean again.
Hey, the light's green.
Alright, go talk to Doc.
I need to talk to you.
Excuse me, my dear.
Not at all, Mr. Sagan. Take your time.
Much obliged, Miss Strickland. Yes?
Your chronometer's gone green again.
Excellent. Let's hope this time my test run is a success. I'm sorry to desert you again.
Yes, well, you've left me with plenty to think about.
Any luck this time?
Depends what you mean by luck. My arrival time was off again.
By how much?
8 hours this time. Gave me the chance to take in 3 showings of Frankenstein. Good movie. A bit implausible from a scientific perspective, but I can see how my younger self would have been mesmerized.
What about the DeLorean?
Oh, yes. I did get one critical piece of information. The chromium elements in my circuits became unstable during the temporal shift. I should replace them with titanium.
Great.
Now, unfortunately, titanium won't become commercially available till the Kroll process is perfected in 9 years.
9 years?
But there may be another solution. I'm going to fire up the chronometric analyzer again. Then, while I'm storing Edna, you can... Uh-oh. Where did Edna go?
The lab!
You better get down there before she makes the situation impossible. I'll tend to the DeLorean.
Age to perfection. Hey, Emmett, I'm back.
Oh no.
Oh my!
You know, I thought you were coming down here to keep Emmett focused on his invention.
No, she is. But she's generously scheduled brief canoodling breaks every 45 minutes to keep my mind fresh.
Time's up, dear. Let's get back to work.
Shall we?
Now, Mr. Crockett, what can I do for you?
Mr. Sagan says he needs to talk to you back at the high school.
He does? Whatever for?
He says he's got a lead on the speakeasy arsonist.
He does he? Well, I'm not sure anyone cares about that old story anymore. But I suppose I could spare a few minutes in the service of solving a crime. Will you be all right without me, sweetheart?
It'll be tough, but I think I'll muddle through.
Try to keep him focused. He's so easily distracted.
Don't I wish. Emmett,
Yeah?
Never
you
mind.
get back to work. We'll catch up later.
Thanks.
I probably want to use that on him. Oh, that's just mean. This is getting into really mean territory now.
There it is. I've been looking all over for my portable anti-stick, anti-stain formula. Where'd you find it?
Out by the trash?
That's strange. I haven't been out there for hours. Oh well.
Are you gonna spray your jacket? It's looking a little dusty.
Not until it's really dirty. This cleanser doesn't grow on trees, you know. Well, some of the ingredients grow on trees, but the rest are synthesized polycarbonate
Really
detergent
dirty?
blends.
I can do that. I'll wait until you're at the expo to show Edna what a suit-destroying slob you can be. Now all I have to do is set up Edna to think that Emmett's fooling around on her, and everything will be ready to go.
Right.
Marty!
Doc! What time is it?
It's almost time for the opening ceremony.
Holy jeez, I better work fast. I think I got it all worked out. When it all comes together, Edna will think you're the worst guy in town. I just need a couple more pieces.
Well, don't go to too much trouble.
What do you mean? Oh! You got the time circuits fixed.
Not exactly. You see, I've been mulling things over, and
Oh no.
in the timeline you're from,
The right timeline.
Yes, yes. I've got a wife.
A great wife, Clara, and kids, and a dog, and a bitchin' time train, and...
And Edna? How does her story turn out? How does she end up?
Oh, well, Edna ends up... She's doing great. She's got a full life, lots of friends, always busy.
She's got a fellow?
Sure, lots of them.
Lots of them. She's a tramp?
No, what I meant to say was...
Let's start over. How does Edna end up?
You're not really supposed to know these things in advance. It's bad luck.
But you told me how my story turns out.
Yeah,
And
but...
it's not as if I'll be in a position to do anything about it once my younger counterpart's destiny has shifted. I imagine I'll be folded into the new timeline, and I'll probably lose all memory of the old one.
Maybe.
So tell me, just to satisfy my curiosity, what's going to become of Edna?
Doc, why are you doing this to me?
To be honest, she ends up kinda... sad.
Sad?
She lives with some cats in a dinky little apartment, and she spends most of her time yelling out her window at people, and collecting newspapers, and living in the past.
I see. Perhaps we've been going about this problem the wrong way. Do we really have to completely obliterate my timeline so we can restore yours?
Doc?
Maybe we could have the best of both worlds. I could be with Edna, but it could be a little bit, you know, more healthy.
Can you hear yourself? Do you know what you're saying? Let me remind you. It was her influence that led you to take over Hill Valley and turn it into this nightmare state.
Come now. It wasn't as bad as all that. The crime rate was low, and the uniforms were nice.
I don't believe this!
All I'm saying is, let's stop and take a breath. This elaborate plan to derail my younger self's love life, is the short-term misery worth the long-term gain? Maybe we could find a third way. One where everybody wins. What do you think?
No! I'm sorry, Doc. I can't go along with what you're saying. You don't belong with Edna.
So you're determined to break us up, in spite of my stated wishes?
Basically, yeah.
Then there's nothing left to say.
He's gonna take the time machine and
Where are you going?
Why should it matter to you? Aren't you planning on overriding me?
So yeah, that happened. And I'm gonna go ahead and call this an episode. So when we come back, we are, I guess, going to try to derail this train of fail and see what happens. So stay tuned.